I can do that. All righty. Let's go ahead and get started. So, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to come out and listen to the Q&A today. My name is Ann Austin. I'm the CEO and founder of Austin Tech, and I have been contracted by Montgomery County to do a cohort program. This is a program that I've been doing for the last 12 years, where we work with small businesses, individuals who are looking to start a business for the first time or have an existing business that would like to grow whatever concept they have and to turn it into something that is profitable, that's going to help you with your business, that is going to give you some of the things that you're looking for in terms of fulfillment and also being able to diversify your portfolio for financing your lifestyle, right? And a lot of times that's what businesses do. We actually use that money to help finance our lifestyle and to be able to get ourselves in a situation where we are have more leverage on things that we want to do in life. And that is what this whole program is all about. And we're going to get into exactly what the program is so you can get to know about it, who's eligible for the program, what options we have for those who are not eligible for the program, and I also provide other types of webinars and learning events and things like that. So, and again, we were scheduled to have like 49 people here, but with the thunderstorm and then traffic, people might be kind of coming in a little late. And if you have a question or anything like that, please feel free to, raise your hand, get off mute, ask a question. It is no problem at all. I would love to hear what your thoughts are. This is a great time to ask questions. It's a great time to, just kind of pick my brain a little bit and things like that. Um, so with me, this course right here is really just going to tell you about the benefits. It's really going to give you a clear understanding about the expectations of it, when the registration is, what this county's requirement is. That's a little bit different from the normal programming, and how you can register for the course. And the number one step is that you guys are here. This lets me know that you're serious about joining the course. So whether you're in Montgomery County or whether you're not in Montgomery County, just stay to the end so you can hear all of the benefits of the course, because you just never know. I might end up sponsoring you if you're eligible. I might end up having you in a different course that might be low cost or maybe free. So just stay the course. You guys did the right thing coming today, and I appreciate that. So we're going to get to the next slide. So again, my name is Ann. I have been working this business for a long time in consultation for about 26 years now, doing small business consultation. I started off doing desktop publishing and working with a lot of home-based business owners, just helping them understand what they need for their businesses, like marketing and um, advertising. That's how I kind of got started and kind of graduated into understanding who I was as a small business owner and trying to understand what that really means. And so kind of created this program in about 2015, launched it in 2016, and have been working with all of these organizations to provide this program. One of my most successful ones was working with Housing Opportunity Commission of Montgomery County for 8 years, which I have did this program. We've done it with Prince George's Economic Development Center. I have also done this program for Prince George's County Schools and have worked with them in the STEM program and just so many different organizations that wanted some portion of this program, whether it was the whole 10-week program or whether it was a webinar or some piece of a program. And just recently, we partnered with FSC First Financial and we did a 3-day marketing program. And just recently, this contract with Montgomery County, they actually want to incentivize having businesses in their county, and they also want to help other counties as well. And the rest of this is just really my other professional background, my certifications, my degrees in IT, which is the other part of my life right there. And I'm a mom of four. I'm a grandma of four girls. I don't have no boys other than one little boy in France. And I love life. I love having fun. And just recently, even Susan could tell she was at the women's event, which was really great. I love to do that. and I like to be in the community and love to help out wherever I can. So that's truly who Ann is, somebody who just kind of cares for people and I can be a big pushover. So he just pushed me right on over, right? So this is just a snapshot of my work over the last I don't know how many years that's on here since 2005 really, when I changed my name from a sole proprietor to Authentic LLC, and it's a lot of work. I had to fight through a lot of challenges. A lot of times I just didn't make it. I had to put it on the shelf. But you know what? I keep coming back, putting up my dukes with the black eye. I take it in the cheek and I keep going, right? And even through COVID, I kept going. It's hard, guys. I'm telling you, I'm showing you this because it's not a bragging moment. It's really just a testament of how you have to keep getting up and you have to make these opportunities happen for you, right? And each one of these opportunities afforded me to do a little bit more here and a little bit more there, and everything adds up in the end. So I want you guys to have the same success. I want you guys to have the same everything that you can get out of your business, and that's what this program is designed to do. If you got a chance to go to my website, here on my website, you will see I have testimonials from people who are, giving you their experience. You might see one individual in the video, but that video is about maybe 10 minutes long. It's like 6 or 7 people on those videos. So you're not just getting one person, you're getting probably the whole class or a piece of the class or half the class who wants to do a video. Some people prefer to kind of give me something in writing, and some people would rather tell me in person. But each one of them have their own story of why they were in the course. 99% of those students are women, 1% are men. And I have people who are doing all kinds of businesses, from notary to healthcare to transportation to construction to IT to you name it, they're in it, right? So this program is designed to help you no matter what industry that you're trying to get into, no matter what type of business that you're trying to create. This program is going to help you do that. And it's different from the Small Business Development Center because we don't piecemeal information, right? We don't piecemeal information. We pretty much lay it all on the table of what you need to do and what you need to have and how you need to have it. Very stern with it. Those folks that are here will tell you that I don't like to play a lot of games. Most of my stuff is very, very in depth because it's you need to be prepared for what's going to be happening once your business starts, and you're not going to have time to go back to another webinar or to another consultation unless that consultation is going to help you achieve something, right? So our program do that for these folks, and most of the folks that's on this video and then some in the past has been very successful. So Montgomery County has a business center, and the procurement office is the one that kind of set this up. Since they knew that I did this program in Montgomery County and Prince George County, they wanted to make this a county program. And so they have an office that is trying to invest in small businesses. So their investment into me is me investing myself into you, right? And being able to help you develop what you need to develop. So that means having storefronts. That means not just being online, but being online and being in storefront. I mean, we all saw what happened in COVID. A lot of people had storefronts, didn't have an online presence, and now they can't come back, and vice versa, right? We want you to be able to thrive both online and in person. So they have a lot of opportunities there in Montgomery County. So if you're thinking about starting a business out there in Montgomery County, this is the time to do it. They're really looking to grow their economic status out there. So this is a great time to do that. Okay, so why we have to do it. So this is the part of the presentation where I have to kind of explain to you why I even created it. Um, a lot of times, 20, 30 years ago, it used to be, you quit your job and you say, hey, I'm going to start this business. And back then, it really was truly you build it, they will come. Well, it's 30, 40 years later. It doesn't work that way. So what are we all into right now? We're all looking to see how we can make extra money to pay our bills, take care of our family, whatever it is that extra money is going to go to, that is what we want to do. And especially in this economy, where people have either lost their jobs or have been riffed by the administration, or maybe you just need extra money because food and gas and everything else is like super high, and it's just, and your check is not high, but now you need to, you got to have extra money. You need that financial freedom, right? I will tell you that having a small business and being able to make the money has given me a sense of financial freedom. It allowed me to do the things I need to do and still save at the same time in case of emergency. I'm not trying to be rich, but I'm trying to be comfortable and I'm trying to be prepared for anything that happens. And I can tell you that it has given me that. It allowed me to be the boss. I, like many of you with COVID, I had to go back working again. During the day, I'm somebody else's little, worker bee. At 4 o'clock, I'm the CEO, right? So I'm the boss of my own world. And so it really has opened me up to a whole world that I didn't even think. You go to work every day and you're sort of doing your work and you collect a check, but now I'm on the other side, right? And it's totally different. It's a different scope of I don't know, I can't even explain it. But whatever the reason is, whether you want to be a nonprofit or for profit, it's the value that you're looking for, right? What is the value in your life that you are bringing to your world if you was to start a business, right? It is not something that you can take lightly. It is not a side hustle. I never called it a side hustle. It is a business because you now have put your name on a federal document that you're telling the US government that you are now a business. So this is not a side hustle. This is something that you are investing in and putting your life's work into. And speaking of that, it is an investment. You have to do the work. You as the owner are the only one. You're the only one responsible for the success of your business. That comes with investing your time, sacrificing things that you don't want to sacrifice, like maybe that dinner on Friday night, maybe hanging out with your girls, maybe watching the reruns of The Blacklist, which I did for about 3 months. You got to find out where in your time can you dedicate to not only develop your business, because that's what this course is doing, is developing your business. But then once it's developed, you also have to operate that business, and it comes with you sitting up and doing things up until 11 o'clock at night to either prepare for the next day or to prepare for the next step in your business. That comes with sacrifice. That comes with putting yourself in a situation where you have to learn what you need to do and you have to acquire those resources in order to do it, right? Because no business runs on empty. You know, you're going to invest time, money, and your skill, and your mind, and your sanity sometimes to get this business going. But you can't be afraid to ask for help. And that is one of the reasons why we have a lot of businesses running out there who are just trying to wing it, and you don't have the first idea of what to do the right way. This program teaches you to do it the right way so that you're not wasting time, money, energy, and your sanity trying to do this. So you got to be determined, you got to be intentional, you got to be dedicated, and you got to be real with yourself. Is this something that you really want? Because once you put your name on an EIN, the IRS is looking for you to pay taxes. They don't give away money, they collect money. So the moment you do that, you're telling the state and the federal government that you are prepared to operate as a business and be part of the business community. That's a huge responsibility. That is something you're adding on in addition to your social security number, which they're already collecting taxes just for you working normally. Now they're going to be looking for taxes as a business, right? So you got to really kind of understand that part too, as well. Okay. Um, so these are just the five things we identify, which is the number one reason why a lot of minority businesses are failing right here. Social media, yes, can be a fast paced, maybe quick money generation, but will you sustain? Will you be out there for the long haul? Think about it. I showed you guys a screenshot of my history since 2005. I wasn't on Instagram, I wasn't on Snapchat or TikTok or nothing like that. I had to last the test of time through true operation of my business in order for me to come back after a year of a break, a year and a half of break, and I came back with three contracts. three back to back. Okay. So, how do you do that? Number one, you got to have all the information. You can't just operate on part of the information. You got to have all the information. Meaning, when you come into this course and you're working on your business plan, we're going to be working on everything you need to be successful. Not a piece of it, not going to an hour webinar and then saying, hey, I think I got what I need. I'm going to fill out this EIN and this LLC and go out there and get me a website and get on Instagram and try to do it. That's not all the information. You don't even have all the legalization. You don't even have all the licenses yet to do that. Once you realize that you don't have the whole thing, now you're going to be piecemealing your operation. And that means you're going to have to keep stopping and keep spending time trying to fix things instead of focusing on operating your business. So that's the second thing. By the time you finish going back and forth doing all that, you're going to feel overwhelmed. You're going to feel upset. And then in the first 1 to 3 years, you're going to stop. You're going to just say, you know what? I can't do this right now. I'm going to have to put it off. And then that put off is going to turn into months, years, and sometimes never come back to it at all, right? So we want to not have that because you're not going to have all the money right away. You're not even going to have a team right away. It's just you and your concept and your passion behind this. So, how do you do this if it's just you by yourself and you're working a full-time job? How do you manage a whole operation just starting off the gate and trying to make money by yourself, right? And then also the number one, I should have put this as number one bullet. We don't leverage business to business relationship as much as we should, right? I get tired of hearing people, oh, I don't want to do business with another African American business, but we're all quick to jump into the Facebook groups that say black businesses. Okay, look, guys, we got to be real. You cannot run in a silo. You have to be able to have a business to business relationship because if you're not working with another business, you're out of business. All these large businesses out here are collaborating together all the time and they are making billions of dollars. Now, I'm not saying we're going to make billions of dollars. We can if we actually collect together and to do it, we could. But the realization is when you're a small business, like I'm a small business, the way that I can make thousands of dollars like this contract is through collaboration and paying the right people to help me do the right things to get this contract. This is probably this is a 3 year contract. This is probably the second largest contract that I've ever gotten. The HOC one, I did that for 8 years. So if you count 8 years working with them, you can imagine how much money I made with them. Okay. So business to business relationship can afford you sponsors. It can help get you grants. It can help expose you to new contacts, new networks that can get you work, that can get you contracts, that can get you grants, and it just keeps going on and on and on like a domino effect, right? That's how it works. But if people feel like they can just hold all this stuff in because they're scared to show what they can do, you are hiding your gift. Okay, you are hiding your gift. You are not letting people see what you offer, and you're literally just cutting your nose to spite your face. So, what do we do, right? We're going to put you in this class. Okay, we're going to make sure that you understand the full scope and breadth of your business from top to bottom, soup to nuts. That's what we're going to do. We're going to help you understand what is it going to take to operate your business the way you should operate your business, right? What are the challenges? What do you need to face so that you don't get out there and start running your business and then you run into these challenges and then you like, well, I don't want to deal with this because I don't know what to do. And then you have no help, no resources, no technical assistance, nothing, right? So we're here to give you that assistance. I have a whole team behind me from sales to everything. Okay, so you should be able to get the help you need. And honestly, some of that is going to be free and some of that you're going to have to pay for, but that's the investment that you're going to do because no business is going to get everything for free. No business is going to get ahead without first investing in oneself and the business. Okay. I have to invest in mine. And this is where it got me. And so everybody has to do the same thing. So it's no free ride anywhere. Um, Also, we're going to help you draft your business plan. This is important because that is the secret sauce of your business. The business plan helps you fully understand what you need, who you need it for, where you're going to do it at, how you're going to do it, what your pricing is, what your finance is, who you're going to partner with, who you're not going to partner with, and what you're not going to do, right? So all of that is going to be in there. And then most importantly, how you're going to be able to market effectively, advertise, and promote. Those are three different things that you're going to learn in the class, because marketing is not the same as advertising, is not the same as promotion, is not the same as a sales. All of those are different things, right? And again, the B&B, how do you network? How do you go out there and promote yourself, right? Without just having business cards all the. I'm gonna tell you right now, I barely use business cards now to get my word across. You have to really establish relationships, and we teach you how to do that in this class, right? So that's what we do. So are there any questions so far? Any questions? I know I was talking quite a bit. So any question? Okay. All right. Okay, so what is this course all about? So let's talk about this. So this course is normally 10 weeks long. It's 10 weeks long because each section we focus on every week. There are homework assignments that are due. That is part of the requirement for the class. The main one is the business plan. Okay, how I teach the business plan is proprietary because I teach it in a way that gets you to think about things outside the box. I don't do the lean. I don't do the lean because the lean does not give you enough information to really flesh out everything you need in your business. So I kind of take the long approach. And so we focus on these three and four things. The main objective, really, for my whole program are really two things. I know I got four bullets up there and three objectives. The first three bullets are the main objectives, but it's all to help you be successful. But it's really two things. One, if you're not ready, don't put your name on it. If you're not ready, don't start it. You can plan for it, but don't start it. Okay. Meaning you're going to come into this class and realize that this business is just not ready for you yet, or you're not ready for the business. And it's going to force you to go back and fix some things before you do it. The second part is that you're going to be ready to go. By the time you come out the class, you're going to be ready to jump off that ledge and say, hey, I'm going for it. I'm ready. Okay. That's the goal of the two, because I don't want no other business to go out there and put their name on the business and be and fail out there. And now you have that on your social security number, you have that under your name and everything like that. So you got to protect your name. Okay. So until you're ready. So, but you got to have an open mind. Doesn't matter if you went to college for business, if you went to 10, 11 small business cohort classes, this class is different. Okay. Really, really serious about this class. People will tell you, I love to have fun. I love to have fun. I'm on the phone. I'm calling you on a Sunday. Okay. I'm calling you in the morning. I'm calling you anytime I feel like I like, hey, Miss Rice, okay, look here. Okay, your business plan, let's go to this section right here. Tell me what's going on right here. I will be calling you. Okay. You don't have people that do that. You don't have people that's really going to share with you roots, ground truth stuff. Okay. All right. It's not a webinar. It is literally a working class. Every class is a working class for 3 hours. It's for people who have a new business concept. If you have a really good concept, before anybody even gets into this class, you are going to have an interview with me to really talk about what it is that you're trying to do. I need to fully understand what you're trying to do so that I can bring that knowledge to the course to help you in our consultation sessions, in the homework assignments, every little aspect. It might be information for everyone, but where it gets personal is when me and you have those consultations for 45 minutes. You're going to have five of them, probably more than five of them, but Montgomery County wants at least five 45-minute sessions. So we could talk about anything in your business, from the plan to your supplies to who you're hiring to HR stuff, or you just feel like talking because maybe you stressed out and you need somebody to hear your plight. Okay, I'm here for that. Okay. If you're home based and you're already working, okay, no problem. Let's see what we can do to make it better. Maybe you're looking to expand your home based business. Maybe you never really want a storefront, but you want to expand and you want partnerships or you want a grant for something. Okay, that's for you. If you're well established, doesn't make a difference. If you're well established and you never created a business plan, or you just was winging it and just happened to be good, what are you missing? Are you missing something in marketing? Are you missing something somewhere else in your business that this course can benefit you from? Unless you have all those things, then I'm going to direct you to, okay, maybe you need more consultation. Maybe you need a specific webinar. Maybe you not need this course at all. But if you're an existing business and you know you've been winging it, and you know that your credit ain't right and you can't get resources, then you need to be in this class to get your credit fixed. Okay, you need to get things straight. Or maybe your registration is not 100% straight because you were told to do this by your friend or cousin or maybe LegalZoom or whoever it is online, and it's still not correct, and now you're coming to the class to get it fixed, okay, to understand your business better. That is what that's for, right? So but you got to come in with an open mind. You got to allow the information to come to you and flow within you, because if you come in the class closed minded and feeling like, well, I learned this over here and I learned that over there, you're going to shut yourself out of learning information. We have people in here talking about sales, lead generation. Doesn't matter how much money you made. If there's something that you have never learned before, you need to learn it in this class, because you're not going to get it. You will literally pay thousands of dollars if you was to get this information anywhere else. Okay. Nobody in Maryland, DC, Virginia, and probably the United States do this cohort program. And I do it specifically for Maryland. I have some stuff for DC because DC is not really that different in registration. But that's really the only difference, is registration on how they register people for their Pacific County or state, right? But the information can go all over the US, right? So it doesn't matter. So what are you guys getting for these 10 weeks, right? So for normally for the 10 weeks, you would get everything that's on the screen. In addition to the stuff that's on the screen, Montgomery County wants you guys to have 5 additional workshops, working workshops for at least 4 hours. 2 of them must be in person, the other 3 can be virtual. So I have a conference room that I scheduled out in Rockville for us to do. I'm trying to get the one in Bethesda, but I don't know how big that one is. I must have at least 20 people in this class, a little bit 20, over 20. I can do other counties, but I got to have at least 17 people who are from Montgomery County in this course. So you get me live. The presenters are also live. So I have Leroy McKenzie Jr., which I'll talk about him. I don't know if I'll talk about the speakers when I get there, but we have presenters that show up live, um, that will give you pointers in their area of expertise. Okay. You also get the handouts from me. You get a comprehensive guide that's going to walk you through everything. So you can use that book to refer to all the time. So you'll get that. You'll also be doing your business plan. 80% of it will be complete when you finish this class, and the other 20% is all financial, which we will talk about finance, but you will need a CPA that will help you with that portion, because that is the portion that you would do once you start making money. And then you will fill in that financial piece later so that you can get grants and stuff like that. You'll also get consultation sessions for Montgomery County. They want you to have 5 45-minute consultations. Normally, you would get two 1 hour consultations for anything you want, and then you would get mentoring throughout the whole entire 10 weeks. But Montgomery County wants 5 consultation sessions, but more than likely you're going to get more than that. Okay. Also, sometimes I will point you to recorded videos of other presentations that give you a different perspective of something you learned that night. And not to mention, I will show you other things that I have learned over my years that will also bring realism to what it is that I'm teaching you, so that you can see for yourself that I'm not playing around with this information. This is not a joke, right? I will literally show you this is what it really is in real time, right? And then the other thing you're going to be required to do is go to network events. So you'll go to 2 no-cost networking events, and you will come back and write an essay about your experience at that event, right? Yes, I help with LLCs, S corps, nonprofits. I have a nonprofit myself. Any type of business you want, self-proprietor, online, storefront, kiosk, doesn't matter. Lemonade stand, if that's what you want to do. I help with all of that. Right. Any kind of business that you are trying to start, consultation, healthcare, daycare, transportation, construction. I've had women who went into construction. One of my recent success was one of the ladies who opened up an MVA center over there in Maryland. over there
Mm.
by Atlanta. She did the whole, she got her building and everything, got the NVA stuff in there, and she launched that. Another one is a nonprofit. She works with youth, and after the class, she got a $17,000 grant. I had another young lady who was, a matter of fact, Susan, she was at the party sitting in the back with a big purple outfit on. She had a grant because she does education and GED programs. She got a grant.
Mm.
So a lot of people have come through this class and figured out what they needed for themselves and went out there. Another gentleman who came to the class, he came in with an app and he was showing his muscles and everything. He was doing all this. Now he got a fitness center over in Montgomery County somewhere. So it really is your level of work, right? That's what it is. I'm giving it to you. It's really up to you how you use it. Two things: either you're going to realize that you need to do some things before you start and you stop and you don't do anything until you fix it, or you will be ready to go and then you will use us to help you launch your business. So those are the two things that we do. So these are the main concepts that we're going to be covering in the 10 weeks. So we're going to go right into your concept. Doesn't matter if you started this business 20 years ago, we're going to start over on your concept to make sure you didn't miss anything. We're going to make sure your entity is correct. We're going to make sure that you understand the difference between leadership, teams, and motivation for yourself because you are the team in the beginning, right? We're going to talk about your personal finance and get very personal about your credit situation because anybody in my class that has issues with their credit, whether you got good credit, but it could be better, or maybe your credit is not so good, you're going to come out this class knowing what to do to fix your credit for free. Okay, you're not going to come out here. How you going to be getting funding if your credit's not right? Okay, I need everybody to be up in the 700s. I need everybody to be like 720, 760, whatever. You no 600s, no 680. That was 20 years ago. We need you to be over 700. Okay, so don't be all scared about, I don't want to tell Ann about my credit. Tell me about your credit so you can get it fixed. Okay. I had a credit consultation with someone yesterday, and it's a very personal thing. I understand that. But it's not about you feeling personal. It's about you getting what? Financial freedom. It's about making sure that you could buy anything in the store and not blink an eye. Or worrying about checking your bank account before you go buying something because you scared you overdrawn. Nope. Mm-mm. We want everybody to have their money. We want your coins, okay? All right, we're going to talk about branding, marketing, advertising, and sales, and how do you lead in potential customers to land a sale. That's very important because you need to understand how to do that in order to land that customer to sell tickets. Okay, the women's event that I did sold out. Okay, sold out. Okay, that's what you're trying to do. You're not trying to just sell a ticket here or there. It's already hard enough to sell a ticket. You need to market in a way that is effective and attractive, that will draw the right customer in and land the sale. Okay, we also talk about counting and bookkeeping, how important that is for you to understand what is going to be on your business tax return. It's all good to get an accountant to do your taxes, but if you do not know how to do your taxes when your money is tight, you're going to be in trouble. Okay, so you need to understand exactly how to fill out a 1065, how to pass that through to your 1040, what items can you write off, what you can't write off. So you do not want to get in trouble with the IRS. Remember, they collect money, they don't give money, they don't even want to give you a refund on time, but they want to collect your money on time. Okay. And you already know about business. We also talk about insurance on how to protect yourself, right? We talk about estate planning. When you're a business owner, what happens to you? I mean, what happens when something happens to you? What happens to your business, right? Does your business just go to the ether or does it fall on your family? How do you protect yourself with insurance for your business, for insurance for yourself? How do you set up a trust? How do you set up a will? How do you do all that stuff to protect you in this business? Okay, that's part of your financial wealth building. And then we also talk about government contracting, right? So we go over an overview on that, but I have a separate class that specifically talks about how do you get your MBE? How do you sign up for SBA? What order do you do your SAM? Because everybody's running around and doing all this stuff, but they're not really realizing what order they need to do it in and why they even need the certification in the first place. And how is it going to help you get a contract? Because just because you get a MBE does not mean you automatically get a contract. Okay, you have to really understand what why you filling out all these forms and telling the government all this stuff, if you're not in a position to even bid on a contract or not even to even fulfill one or even get one. So you got to understand that before you start filling out these applications and saying, hey, I'm going to go to sam.gov and do all this stuff. So we do an overview, but there's a whole 4 hour class that will teach you from beginning to end what order you need to do it, when you need to do it, and how you need to do it so you don't mess it all up, right? So we cover all of that. And these are just the value and the outcomes from everything I just showed you. How do you going to do a profit? How do you protect yourself and your business against fraud when you're online? How to win government and state contracts, okay? How do you get sponsorships? How do you get grants? Those are the values and outcomes that come out of this class. And because you guys are showing here up today, it lets me know that you've been trying to do something with this business because you're here, and everybody else who's fishing, the other what 30 some people that's not on here, those are the ones that was like, yeah, I guess I could start a business. But see, they're not ready, right? You This lets me know y'all really trying to do something, and that's why I do the Q&A. So here's a team that I have right here. So the people on the top, they've been with me for about 9 years, except for Sharon. She's been with me about 3 years. But Ken, Leroy, and Ellie has been with me about 9 years. Okay. Ken is a financial expert. His job is to help you find funding for your business, whether it's a business credit card or if you're ready to take on $100,000 or even more than that, right? He is the guy. Sharon, she is a personal finance coach. She does not teach credit. I teach credit, but she is also an insurance agent, and she teaches you about how you can properly invest your money in a way that's going to help you for the long haul. Like, where do you need to invest and how your relationship with money should be. So she talks about that. Leroy McKenzie Jr., he is the brand and network connoisseur. That man is everywhere, okay? You talking about somebody being online and branding, he is the brand specialist. I do branding, but he is even more branding than I am, okay? He'll tell you. Say Sharon Lewis. Okay, then you know what I'm talking about. Then you know how she is, right? She's really sweet. I met her. I was doing a baby basket event where I was giving away baby basket and food and clothes, and she came and spoke at my event, and that's how we met. And that was about 3 or 4 years ago. That was a long time. But she's really a sweet lady, and she generally loves coming to educate. So please make sure you get with her. Ellie Natoli, she is the marketing sales guru's lead generation. The three of us, me, Leroy, and Ellie, just did a 3-day workshop on brand sales and marketing that attract and pays. That thing, yeah, we had about 20 some people in there, and it was really good. Now, the bottom half of these, now Sarah Coughlin, I have known her for about 6 years. She is a former ADP consultant. She actually likes to teach just because she likes to teach it. She actually works for landscaping doing HR and payroll stuff now. But when I ask her, she actually comes and talks about payroll. I actually have previous videos. So if I'm not able to get her in this cohort, I do have videos of her talking about payroll that is very helpful. Now, Toya, Monica, and Lawanda. These are cohort graduates from cohort 2 in 2026. Toya is a strategic planning consultant, and so is Monica. They both are federal workers. They actually worked with me to get this Montgomery County contract. Okay, and so now they are working for me to talk about change management in a company, which is very important. Strategic planning, which you're definitely going to need to do to be strategic for partners. And all three of us have project management certification, so we're going to integrate a little bit of that in the cohort for Montgomery County in the workshops. Okay, because a lot of us don't know how to plan properly, and sometimes I forget how to plan properly. But you need to do that to manage your time, okay? And how do you deal with changes? And then Iris Carter, she's a QuickBook Pro advisor and a former tax accountant. So she loves to teach about what type of program should you use to manage your funds, like to manage your business money. Should you use QuickBooks? She'll tell you how to use it. And LaWanda surprised me because LaWanda used to work for the Biden administration doing communication and marketing. So she actually came on to help me do communication and advertising. And she too was doing the marketing one. So these are some new folks that I'm bringing on. And I also have a team of other people who worked with me in the past who did sales and things like that. So this is just a snapshot of people who I work with. And so you'll have me most of the time. And then these folks would kind of drift in, teach some stuff, and then I'll give you homework and all of that. So that sound good? That sound fantastic? All
Mhm.
right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now here's the part that everybody don't like. Okay, so at the end of the presentation, everybody is required to do a presentation. Okay, that means I want to see how you're applying what you learn in your business. Now, to me, I don't care if you're bringing your real business. Some people just do not want to use their real business. You can say Mary had a little lamb as long as that business plan says Mary had a little lamb and the concepts you're trying to do. You can hide the business name. It doesn't matter. I don't steal people's businesses because that I would have had thousands of businesses out there by now. I didn't taught like 2,000 people this program, so I'm not into that. So what I would say is you will be doing a final presentation or a graduation. If you do the final presentation, it is recorded, and you have 20 minutes to do your presentation. I may do something different. I may have people actually like do a presentation and just kind of give me a script of their presentation, and we do a graduation ceremony. It's somewhere in Maryland, right? Because it's Montgomery County. But I haven't decided on that yet because I have to determine exactly how many people are going to be in this cohort. Last cohort, it was 24 people and it was a lot of presentation. It was over 3 nights. I don't know if I want to do 3 nights again. It was fantastic though because I got to learn a lot and everyone in the class got to learn from everyone else, which was really fantastic. But it was a lot to listen to over 3 nights. So I'm thinking about having people just turn it in as a final exam and maybe do a graduation. So we're going to see. But the whole point of it all is for Montgomery County to see exactly what they invested their money in. They're investing a lot of money in small businesses. And so the recording is for them to hear the type of businesses. By the way, for the business plan, nobody will ever see your business plan but me and you. The class will not see the work you do. They cannot see your grades for the homework assignment. They can't see any of that stuff. Only me and you will see your business plan. Not even Montgomery County will see your business plan because that's secret. That is very secret. And everyone who registers for this class will be signing an NDA. When they sign up using my application, you're also signing an NDA saying that you will not disclose anything that anyone says in the class. Now, most of the time, people do not share their intimate business practice in the class. They only share it with me when we do the consultation or in the business plan. That is a trust that must happen in this class because I don't want anyone coming to the class feeling uncomfortable about sharing anything or to share anything with me because, it's just not going to work if people can't trust me. So I have to have that level of trust with myself and also with students. So everybody does that. So I want to let everybody know that it is a confidential thing. So the only thing that I would ask people to do in their presentation is just do an overview. Don't share any real like numbers like that unless you don't feel comfortable. If you feel comfortable sharing numbers, that's fine. But if it's something that is the secret sauce of your business, do not share it in your presentation. And I'll repeat that in the class as well and guide you on how you're going to do your presentation. So we're getting close to the end of this now. So, what value would you lose? So, these classes are sponsored and paid for by Montgomery County. So, if I don't have this cohort, I don't get paid. All these interviews I'm doing with folks, I don't get it done, right? But the bottom line is that you want to take advantage of it if you can. If now, so again, the requirement is that I got to have at least a minimum of 20 people in the cohort. Okay, I can have people from other counties like DC, Maryland, Virginia, and other parts of Maryland in the cohort, but I must meet the Montgomery County students. And so, with the registration that I was hoping to have today, with the folks that was here, it looks like I may have to do another Q&A to get the remaining folks from Montgomery County, and then I could start bringing in folks from different counties. With that said, the class is free if you're qualified and you can come in. She said, I just moved DC and I can still join. It still says I'm in Florida. Now, if you moved in DC, you're in DC. So we'll talk about that personally because everybody who joined the night, if you fill out the application that I'm gonna post up here, if you fill it out, I'm gonna talk to you personally about your situation. Okay. I'm not going to say no to people right away because I don't know everybody's situation who joins. So want to make sure that you don't miss the opportunity to join a cohort. Okay. So that's what I want to say for that. So the registration right now, as I'm trying to kick this cohort off on August 10th and end in October. If I don't have the 20, this date will probably move back a week or two. And then we'll probably end maybe the end of October. Okay. But if we get the requirements, then we'll start August 10th and finish October 13th. And so classes will be on Monday once a week from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Okay, so on Mondays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Now, if you are interested in being part of this class or any class in the future, you want to go and register at this site. So I'll put this in the chat to make it easy for you guys to get to it. So that's austintech-smallbusiness.com. Oops, I can spell. And that's MC Student Registration. Okay, so you would go there first. And then once you fill that out, you would schedule an appointment with me. I will tell you I will be in Suffolk next week, but I'll still be taking calls in the afternoon. Um, so after you fill out that application, make sure you fill it out completely. Please don't give me one word answers. If it's asking you to tell me about what you're trying to do, please fill it out and again and explain what you're trying to do. Okay. So that I can, clearly understand what we're going to be talking about. The interview will be about 15 minutes, and it'll give me time to kind of talk with you in depth about what you're trying to do. As soon as I get 20 eligible participants, then we're going to kick it off. Now, I will tell you that I had sponsored myself about 2 students for the cohort 1 and about 4 students for cohort 2 in 2026 that ended in April. I'm thinking about doing the same thing for those who I talk to and feel really strongly they should be in the course. And there's also for those who really want to be in the course, but there's no seats, there is a 50% discount of the tuition for those who still want to join the course anyway. I've had people actually self-pay last time who wanted to join the class, and you're welcome to do that. But I only get paid whatever from Montgomery County based on the number of people that they tell me that I can get paid for. Okay, so that's the limitation there. But I'm trying to get people signed up and close this thing by July the 30th. But now that we're extending it, it'll probably be more like August 3rd or August 5th is extending this too. So if you know some people in Montgomery County that may be qualified for this, please have them reach out. I will be posting this video so that you guys can see the video and share the video, and those who are interested can sign up without having to come to a Q&A. Okay, any questions on the registration? Okay, you good? Okay. All right, sorry I was okay, so the actual registration date is now until July the 30th, but I extended that to August the 5th because this is the third Q&A. I'm trying to still reach out to Montgomery County folks. And it's so weird because when I was doing Prince George's County, I was getting nothing but Montgomery County folks. And then I send this out to the same Montgomery County folks, and they're not here. So, and all the Prince George's County and DC and Virginia folks there. So, but I say like this, uh, that lets me know that you're passionate, to be in the class. And it also gives me reason to sponsor people. Okay. So that's why I say stay to the end. And this is my email address and this is my phone number if you want to reach out and talk with me. But definitely schedule the appointment using the Calendly app. That's the best way to do it so that I don't miss any messages. This phone number is not a cell phone number, it's actually a business number, so it doesn't take text messages. But the best way to contact me is to email me and to schedule an appointment. And that's the link where you can do it without a cost. If you do it through my website, it's going to ask you to pay a consultation fee. But use the Calendly app, you can get me without that. Okay. And let me see. I think they only have a couple more slides left. Okay, so the other requirement, as I mentioned earlier, is looking for those who are 21 years or older, either reside and looking, in Montgomery County. However, I am looking at other counties as well. You have to fill out that application in that link that I just showed you a minute ago. That's this link right here. This is the official registration, giving me permission to enter you into the course, giving me permission to record you if you are chosen for the course, gives you permission for the NDA and everything. That's the official registration from Austin Tech. Okay. Once I have everybody set and ready to go, and I had your interview, and I say, yes, you're in the class, I'm going to send everyone who selected a link to the Google Classroom where you'll have access to the course material. Okay. And again, that date of the 3rd is probably going to change depending on if I can get everybody on time. But if I get everybody on time, you'll get notified. And I'm going to specifically state that you need to be in that classroom by a certain time and a certain day, because if you don't, you won't get the paperwork and you won't get the handouts, you won't get stuff, and then it'll be a problem. If you're using a Mac, machine, you're going to need to use Google Chrome. So if you're not using Google Chrome or using Safari right now or Firefox, it's not going to work. It's going to cause you a headache. So you got to get Google Chrome. If you do not have a Google account, like a Google Mail, you're going to need to get a Google email so that you can actually get the work, because Google Classroom requires you to save your work in Google Drive, which means you have to have a Gmail account. So, okay. If your Gmail account is getting full, you're not going to get the assignment. So if you know your Google Drive and your Google email is full, you're going to need to clean that out, because otherwise you will not get the notifications when the assignments are out, and you won't get the next assignment that is going to be posted to you because your drive is full. Google is now making everything that you save in your email, okay, be full, because people don't want to buy the extra storage, and I want them. Okay, so I got to clean out mine as well. So for the course itself, we're going to be doing it all virtually, except for a few of these classes are going to be in person somewhere in Rockville or Bethesda. Okay. You got to attend 5 workshops. 2 of them must be in person, 3 can be online. You got to attend at least 2 networking events. I'm going to find some that you can attend that is no cost, and then you're going to come back and submit a summary of your experience. And that's for everybody. And then you're going to have to do a minimum of 5 one-on-one coaching with me for 45 minutes. Doesn't matter what we talk about. And the classes are on every Monday. Hopefully that date will stay from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. That means you need to stay the whole 3 hours. You can't come for an hour and be dipping out. If you dip out, you're missing information. You miss information, you're going to get your homework wrong. Um, the last 2 weeks are going to be final presentation nights. Depending on how many people in the class, if it's over 25 people, I'm going to change the way we do the final presentations. Okay. I might even require people to record their presentation and then upload it for me to review. Okay. I might even do that. And then we have a graduation. Okay. That's your final exam. So that is the whole schedule right there. Okay. Any questions on the schedule or the requirements? No. Okay. If you do, let me know. Okay, technology, and I stress this again. We're going to be using Zoom. Okay. I would highly encourage you that if you have a laptop, you're going to need a laptop, because I share a lot of things on the screen, not just presentations. I might pull up a website. I might show you how to create something. I might even show you something that's related to marketing, and you need to be able to see what it is that I'm going to show you. If you're using an iPad or other tablet or your phone, you're not going to see it. You're going to miss it. Okay. You need to be someplace where it's uninterrupted. Maybe, no kids around, because I'm telling you, it's a lot of information. If you have your camera off and you're back there cleaning up and doing some other stuff, you're going to miss some details. Um, all the course materials, all our communication will be coming through Google Classroom, except for the mentoring time. But most of what we're going to do, it is so interactive that you can actually go to a place in your business plan, create a comment, and I will get an email and I can respond to you right there on the same comment. Okay. So that we can keep track of where we are making changes in your business plan. So you're going to need a computer to access that. If you, most times people who use iPads and tablets, you will go in there and it'll say you can't access or edit your assignment because you're using the iPad's browser version. Okay. So you're going to need to use a computer, a desktop, or a laptop to do that. And when we do it in person, you can bring your laptop to class. This will be the first time I'm using Bico's conference room, so I got to find out what the requirements they have in there. But most of the time, it's going to be more lecture and more conversation, so you'll be doing little on your laptop. Okay, it won't be any laptop work. Um, these are just some FAQs that I have. I'll just point out a couple of them because many of this stuff I've already covered already. So as soon as we get 20 eligible students by July the 30th, we're going to kick off that August date. If we don't, I'll let everybody know that it's going to be pushed back. I'm going to be interviewing everyone who fills out that application to have that conversation. Okay. Also, if you miss the deadline on getting in the Google Classroom, again, you're going to have trouble getting the coursework and your grade will be affected. All homework assignments are graded. Everybody starts off with 100, and then your job is to turn your assignments in on time, and it's going to, you'll probably go from 100 and on week 2 you'll drop to 50 only because you're just starting your activities and you're going to work your way back up to that 100. But you don't want to, you want to make sure your Google Drive, your Google email is not full so that you don't miss stuff. Okay. Will there be another class if the August thing, if you can't make the August one? Absolutely, there are other classes. For this specific task order, Montgomery County has given me a 3-year rotational contract. That means that once I do this task order and do the class, they put me back in the rotation. They issue me another task order, and it goes on like that for about 3 years. Okay. Don't know when that's going to be. So the sooner I get this going, the sooner I can open up another cohort and we can have folks who already applied come on in. I am working with Prince George's Economic Development Center to do another Prince George's County one, which I did have people from Virginia and DC, and they was totally 100% fine paying for it. So I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with that. And I'm also working with HOC to see if they want to bring something back in Montgomery County, which they were also fine with other counties. So there's some stuff. And then for any of those things that are not happening, I am offering other smaller courses and webinars for low cost or half the tuition for those who really want to do it, but those will be on different dates and a different schedule. So those are different things that are happening if you can't get into this August class. And also next year I'm also going to be kicking off some smaller ones as well. I'm breaking it up a little bit. How can you protect your business idea? So again, everybody's going to sign an NDA. I'm the only one that's going to know your business plan besides yourself. So it's going to be 100% confidential. Not even Montgomery County has the right to see your business plan. Okay, no one does. And that is your secret document. That's a living document for your business, right? What type of activities are you going to be doing, right? Well, for 10 weeks, we're going to be doing lots of stuff. We're going to be doing stuff that's going to help your business plan. We're also going to be working on different activities that's going to help you with your marketing, build your niche. The workshops are definitely going to be some hands on right there because we're going to be right there saying, hey, let's work on this thing. Let's strategize that thing. And then you're going to walk out with a kit. You're going to work out with something that's going to help you in that thing. So it's going to be lots of activities that you're going to be doing. A lot of it too is going to be conversational based, meaning I'm going to engage you to talk about challenges so that everybody gets to kind of chime in and you get help from other students, especially those who may be already established and they may have encountered that already. So they want to share that information with you. So you definitely want to be part of that, right? Yeah, public speaking is another one. I have a webinar that talks about that. The presentation helps you with that as well. So there's so many different things that we're going to have you engaged in, not to mention the network opportunity you're going to go to. Oh man, if you don't go there and start making connections, something's going to be wrong. So you got to get in there and start, working your little, you got to work a little bit what we teach you in there, right? So you definitely have to do that. Now, do you have to do the assignment? Absolutely. The number one thing that would get you kicked out of the class if you don't do the assignment. It is mandatory. Okay. The assignments are graded. Okay. If you come to the class and you don't do the assignment and I call you and you ghost me, you're dropped. Okay. If you don't do the assignment to the requirements that you're supposed to do the assignment and I call you to say, hey, what do you need help? You need help doing this? You need help? Are you not getting this? Let's work on it together. If you don't want to work with me and you ghost me, I'm going to drop you. It's just simple as that. And I'm going to call somebody else and have them take your seat. I'm being real, okay? I've had that in the last class where the girl was coming to the class and she thought she can just get on the class and be on the video and cut the camera off. And she didn't do week 1, week 2, and after week 3, when I called her the third time and she didn't answer, I sent her official letter saying she was hereby dropped, took her out of the class, blocked her from the classroom, called another student, and brought her in on week 4 and she graduated with 100%. Okay. I'm not playing around. If you coming in here and not participating, I had another student that went all the way to the end and didn't even want to do the presentation. And that's not fair. And that's like, well, if you don't do the presentation, you can't come and hear everybody else's. You can't come and listen to everybody else's and you're not doing your presentation, right? So it's the fairness, right? So we got to have that. So all the assignments are graded and required to be part of the class. Um, and depending on how you drop, now, if there's a death in the family or you're chronically sick, just communicate to me. Yeah, you can do makeup assignments, you can make up as long as it don't become a habit, right? If it's one time, two times, that's fine. I had students come in here every week, there was a problem, with their assignments being late, right? They got dropped because they're not ready, right? And I'm not doing it to be malicious. I'm doing it because that's how people would treat you in real life when you're in business. If you come into another business person and you don't have it together, they're just going to drop you. And it's nothing personal. It's just, I don't get paid. I'm a business person. I don't get paid for failure. I get paid for success. So I want all people to be success. And I can honestly say that out of 12 years, I've only had 3 dropouts in all the classes that I've ever had, and only one person didn't do her presentation out of the 12 years I've been doing this, because I'm straight up and real with everybody about the expectations, right? Now, if you happen to be, let's say something happened and you got chronically sick and you just could not finish, right? I'm not asking for proof that you're in the hospital, none of that. As long as you're communicating with me, I will make arrangement. I have made arrangement with people to come back at another cohort and finish it out, right? You just got to be honest with me. Don't lie to me. Tell me the truth. If this is what's going on with you, and I will work with you to get you to the end, right? But I've had people come in here and try to be a little funny. I had to set them straight, and they were like, "Oh, okay, and we're good," and then they graduate and they good. you know, they were just trying to, not to go through the whole motion. But that's business. You have to, if you're trying to run a business like I'm trying to run a small business, get a contract, you can't half-ass this thing. You got to be real with yourself. Can you really do it or not? And if you can't do it, that's fine. Just figure out where you need to get help, and then keep moving it along, right? And yeah, the final presentation normally is recorded, but again, depending on the number of people, I might end up people just recording their presentation, uploading it, or we'll do something different depending on the number of people class in the class, but I will let folks know about that. Okay, so I see some questions in here. Okay, so what is the full cost of the course? So normally this course costs $1,850 due to the number of weeks and the presenters that I have to pay that's coming to you. These folks cost thousands of dollars if you was to go and have a consultation with them. So they're actually doing it in a way that's affordable for me, which makes it free for you. But if you're coming to the class and let's say there's no seat and you want to come to the class, that's $925, that you're still getting the same benefits as if you were paying the full tuition cost. Okay. So it's not cheap. It's not cheap for me. So I have to make it affordable, but it's still not cheap, right? But you're investing in it. So that investment comes with, everything that I'm pouring into it. Think about it. I am reading business plans for 25 or more people, which means I'm spending 2 or 3 hours on your specific business plan. I'm spending 45-minute consultations with you. I am doing 10 to 12 weeks of lecturing with you. So $925 is kind of cheap compared to most college classes. Okay. So, but you're getting a whole lot. And I used to offer mentoring for 3 months after that. So the keys to success is that you got to have an open mind and you got to embrace this new information, right? I want you to add this information to your arsenal of information because you're going to get it from like so many people, right? But you got to have an open mind to take it in. You got to be able to manage your time in this class, okay? It is going to be some work. That means that when you come home from your work, you're going to say, okay, I got to take care of my family. When can I spend an hour or two working on this assignment that's due on Sunday at midnight? All assignments are given out on Monday and due by Sunday midnight. Okay, I don't want people coming in and say, "Oh, I'm working on my thing on Saturday, and let me text Ann and ask a question." I'm gonna tell you, I'm with my family and doing things on Sunday, but I've had people hit me up to the nine at midnight asking questions. Right? Manage your time. What is your priority? Right? Is this business your priority for the next 10 to 12 weeks? That's the question you got to ask yourself. Are you making this a priority in your life? No different than you got to get up at 4:30, take a shower, do your hair, do your makeup, make it to that job on time so you can get paid. This is no different. This job is no different. When I get off every day, I got to think about what is on my to-do list to do, what is on my to-do list to do for Austin Tech this week. And if I don't do those things, Ann doesn't make money. It's as simple as that. If I do nothing, I get nothing, right? So you got to execute that level of effort. What is that going to be for you and how you're going to do it is really 100% up to you. My job is to give you the tools so that you can do it for yourself, right? So that means you have to tell your loved ones, "Hey, listen, this is my time from 6 to 9, and then any other day in the week if I can do 6 to 9, then maybe I could do 7 to 10 or something like that on Tuesday or Thursday." You got to surround yourself with people who are going to be in your ear to support you, not people going, "Why are you doing all that? Why you just can't go to YouTube University and go get the information? You know, they got thousands of information. Why don't you go to the women's small bit?" Okay, you can do all that, right? But you don't need nobody negative in your ear telling you what you should be doing because you don't feel like you should be spending 6 to 9. This is your time. This is your time to do what you're trying to do for yourself. So that means surrounding yourself with people who are going to support you. Are they going to sit down with you and help you write your business plan and try to really understand what you're trying to do? Hell no. Because you know why? Because that's work. Okay, that's work. That means that they have to sit there and work with you, and they're not going to be there when you launch your business. I guarantee it. They're going to say, "Thumbs up, let me know how it work out." That's what they're going to do. Okay, but you got to love them from a distance and say, "This is my time." Okay, this is my time. This is what I've been trying to do. And that's the way you got to carry it. No matter who is supposed to be in your corner, this is your business, your baby. So you have to nurture that as if you want it. Right? You got to do that. But you also got to have fun too. You got to find what's fun in the business that you're trying to create. You got to make it exciting for yourself. You don't want it to be like, "Oh God, I got to work on this business." No, if it feels like that, then you need to change the concept. You don't want to feel sad, right? You don't want to feel sad or anything like that. You want to feel excited. You want to feel motivated. But if you're not feeling that with this concept, then we need to work with it to get it to the point where you feel excited about it. You don't want it to be a burden or anything like that. And that's why I like to have fun in the class. I like to talk with you intimately about it to see how you can bring that passion out and feel excited about what you're doing because that's what makes the business niche your passion about what you do and how you love doing it. That is what makes this business that you have really, really special. Okay, let me see. Stephanie says, "So you will let us know." Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to be letting everybody know, right? And thank you for filling that out because I can't wait to talk to you. Okay, so you see, here's some more pictures of some folks that I did virtually in person. Susan, you probably remember that's the old office that I used to have with the conference room, and Sister for Sister was in there too. But I tell you that this is just a fraction of the folks that have come to here and to this program. Okay, I don't know what else I can say to convince you, but I can tell you that this is something I'm very passionate on doing. I am very passionate in making sure that our folks are in these storefronts, that we are in the major malls, that we're not just online doing TikTok and Instagram ads, that we actually have a real business with a real person behind it, and that we're actually getting real funding and real opportunities. And that is what Austin Tech stands for, right? Because we can't do this continuously the way we've been doing it. First time I went to, well, not the first time, but the first time ever over at Anne Arundel Mall, that there are some African American businesses in there. I was so excited. One is called Bubbles, the other one is called Inspiration, and then there's one other one. There's three. Never seen a black business in daggone Anne Arundel Mall as long as I've been going up there. Okay, and I've been living in Prince George's County for a long time. And I went in there and I'm like, what? Okay, we need more of that. We need more of us in businesses like that, but only you can do that, right? Only I can say, this is what I know that you need to do. Add it to your weaponry, and let's go out there and make war and go out there and do it, right? That's the only way that's going to happen. That's the only way change is going to happen. That's why there's such a flood of entrepreneurship business pitches out there. Contracts like this is happening because when COVID came, they realized that all these big businesses that monopolized all these spaces all these years could not hold it down for one breakout of COVID for 4 years. They couldn't survive 4 years. And look who was surviving all this time. Everybody on social media. Everybody who was small businesses like us, and now they want us to come in there and take those buildings. But we can't do that if you don't have the right structure, or you don't have the ability to afford the building or get funding for staff, right? I'm literally starting over, but I came back, got some opportunities. That opportunities got me back a training room. So I'm kind of starting back, and I'm using everything I'm teaching everyone to do for myself. Okay, so that's me. That's Ann. That's this program. And I'm open for any questions you got after this, because I'm like, where the other 30, 40 people at? Because y'all serious, because y'all still here. Y'all still here, and I appreciate that.
Hi,
That's
Anne.
yes, ma'am.
Hi, it's Stephanie.
Hey,
So,
Stephanie.
so quick question. Just want to clarify.
Hmm.
So, for the class itself, you said it's free unless you don't have any more spots. Then it's 925.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So what
Okay.
I'm trying to do is I'm trying to fill up the seats at least 75. They want 75% of those people in Montgomery County, and then the rest can be from any other county. So for
Yes, ma'am.
me,
Okay.
that means I got to have at least 17 to 18 people from Montgomery County.
Montgomery County.
That's right.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
I can fill in the seats, and they don't have no problem paying for anybody else. However,
Okay.
I'm only limited to how many people I can have in this class at one time, right?
Okay. Okay.
So I'm trying to fill those seats up, and I'm going as soon as I talk to you, I'm making the decision right then and there. Normally my process would be I would interview people, and then I will fill the seats in with those whoever the sponsor is, we will look at the list and then we will make a decision. But
Mhm.
since they're leaving it to me, I'm telling people as I interview whether you're in the class or not. I'm not waiting
Okay.
till to the date and say you're in the class. I'm talking to you and telling you right there on the phone.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank you.
definitely for sure. Because
Okay.
I don't want people to, be sitting back waiting
Hmm.
for anything.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
yeah, Susan, as soon as I get off of here, I'll definitely check to see applications. Right now, because I'm presenting, I can't look online to see who's sent in anything. Um, but the application is literally you giving me permission to give you a call and consider you for the course. The Q&A is really just for folks to really understand the scope and depth of the program and
Hmm.
decide for themselves if this is something they really want to invest the time in, because it is a serious thing, and we're
Yes.
talking about creating real businesses, making real money. The other
Yes.
thing that I started recently too is a women's opportunity group, where I'm going to be working with people who are already established and maybe they just need help just finding opportunities. So what we're doing is We're going to be trying to get together a group of women who are willing to help other women, and all of us help each other get these opportunities, right? So the first meeting is
Oh,
tomorrow. I'm looking for folks who are serious. I'm talking about people who are willing to help work on proposals or work on like the one that me, Monica, and Toya worked on this one to get this one. And we actually, a couple, no, I would say 3 weeks ago, we actually submitted another one, right? So we're looking for people to not only help, but also pay it forward. If there's a contract to be had, you pay the people that helped you.
okay.
You get what I mean?
Got
So
it.
you're not
Yes.
going to just be giving away free help like that. You got to pay folks to help, whether they get the contract or not. You're paying people to help you, right? So that way you get help and you're getting quality help, not just any
Yes.
kind of help, right? And that helps us get more opportunities. Or let's say we want to collaborate together to do an event like a summit or a
Mhm.
conference or something like that. We can all work together to do that and make money that way, right? I've
Okay.
done that in the past. So I'm sort of looking for more collaboration because the big businesses are now starting to collaborate, and us we need to do that as small businesses. We need to show them that we're just as powerful as any multi-million-dollar business out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because we're women, 99% of the women are out here having businesses. If you look at the statistics, there are more women businesses than ever
Yes.
before. More
Yes.
women in college degrees, more women in AI, in construction now, more women in blue collar jobs, owning all kinds of stuff, right? All these little state contracts that's happening out there, from cleaning to construction to limo driving to all that, women, okay? We got to get our hands on this contracts that's out there. But a
Yes.
lot of us don't know how to apply for them. And so we need people who are experienced like me and other ones to help you get those, to get those opportunities, and then you pay it forward, by helping us get contracts or subcontracts. That's what we need to do. Right? We need to
Love
get,
it.
because there's so many contracts that people not getting. They're just coming in there and they're going in there and nobody's bidding on them. And then that budget goes to something else. Mhm.
Right.
All the time, all the time. So, if everybody down with that, I'm having a meeting tomorrow virtually to figure out who is serious about that, and then we'll probably have in-person meetings to kind of really have working meetings on real opportunities on what we're going to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Well, and
yeah.
I don't have a question, but I do want to say thank you for this. This
Oh,
was
you're
very,
welcome, Susan.
did an amazing job. And I don't have any questions because it seems like you answered everything.
But that's
You,
okay, because trust me, by the time you get off of here, you're gonna think about everything I said. You're gonna have questions, and when we talk, that's the time where we can really get into it. Well, we'll spend the first 15 minutes, and if we need a little bit more time, we'll schedule additional time. But it's really all about, trying to see where you are and what you need to do and what this course is going to really give you. It is a very accelerated course. It's going to require a lot of your time and attention. And if you're willing to put in the work, then I'm going to put in the work, because I'm going to show you what you need to do for your business plan. I'm not going to just read it and just say that's good and give you a thumbs up. I'm going to read it. I'm actually going to spell check it, and I'm going to say, hey, you need to spell check. You need to check this. You need to fix your format. You need to write this way. No, you need to move this over here and do that. And guess what? I'm going to expect for you to go back in there and fix it,
Mhm.
because every week you're not going to have time to be going back saying, oh, I'll get back to that 2 weeks from now. Nope. Every week you're going to go in there and you're going to update it and you're going to fix it. And by the time you finish, you're going to have a really good, well written business plan that you can use with anything, right? You can use it to marketing. You can use it to put on your brochures. You can use it as a business pitch. You can use it to get business bank accounts. You can use it to apply for grants and all kinds of stuff. I use mine all the time, and I need to update mine from like years ago. Mine is still working. Mine is still working, and I need to update mine. And I don't never had time to update mine, but I'm gonna have to do it. But that's how powerful, people don't realize how powerful a business plan really is. And when they said, SBA told me, oh, you can do a lean thing and you got like 10 paragraphs and like 5 pages, they ain't telling you nothing. You need to be able to go back in that business plan and know exactly where you started, where it went wrong, where you need to make a change, and where you need to update and scale. And that is how that business plan is supposed to function for you. Okay, you think about the big businesses where you go to work and they tell you that they having a strategic meeting, and all of a sudden they have these meetings and they come back in the intranet on your internal site and say, "Hey, we decided we're going to do this in our strategic plan," and you're like, "Where all this come from?" Their business plan, from
Mm.
sitting there strategizing with their board of directors or whoever in leadership, deciding on what they're going to do and how they're going to do, and then they give you the 30,000 foot view of it. But if you was to really look at their business plan, you can't even fathom it. So you got to understand what these businesses do in order to compete. You got to, and compete means you have less resources, less money, less opportunity, but you're going to have to operate like as if you have the same, right? So that's how that's got to go. Hmm. Y'all gonna get me teaching up in here today. I gotta stop myself. I gotta stop myself. It's 7:30. But I
Mm.
appreciate you guys spending this hour and a half with me and
Yes, Miss
learning about the
Gail.
program. It lets me know that you guys are serious, and all these other people names that I'm looking at on here, these other names that I'm seeing on this list that says not join, not join, not join and Zoom, okay? I'm pretty sure they're gonna feel like they missed out, but hey, that's business. You either be ready or you're not, right? So you got to be ready.
Good
I'm
evening,
ready.
Miss
You gotta be
Ann.
ready. So I hope to talk with y'all real soon and
Yes,
everything.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
just I wanted to second Miss Susan and just say thank you
You're welcome.
for the Q&A, for the presentation. It was very thorough, and I'm
Yes.
super excited to speak with you this week as I did my appointment for Thursday. So I hope
Not
to
a
speak to you about
problem, not a problem. I appreciate you too, and I will be definitely sending out the recording. Let's see. I think I was trying to reach out to Miss Shanice. Miss Shanice, are you there? Okay. So, okay, hang on a sec. Okay, so that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, where people are joining and turning on the recording and they're not even here.
Mm, yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that kind of stuff. So, but I don't worry about that, because at the end of the day, it lets me know what people are not going to be doing in Zoom. I don't know when Zoom allowed these third parties to start recording by itself, but I'm going to find that option. I'm going to turn it off. And it won't happen anymore, right?
There we
So,
go.
but I will be talking to each one of you on the thing. So thank you for filling out the application. If you know
Yes.
somebody who is in Montgomery County that would love to fill up these last 5 or 6 seats, we'll make this thing happen.
Awesome. I
Mm.
will definitely spread the word and let my network know as well. And I appreciate tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Very
guys so much.
thorough, very complete. Gave me all the answers. And I'm looking forward to speaking to you.
Me too. Me too. Me too. All right. Well, if I'll hang on here for that. Let me turn the recording off, because this is what I call the after party.